Hello, I'm Nigel Hickey, a Technical Marketing Architect for vCenter Server. Today we're going to discuss SSO Domain Repointing. And what we mean by that is repointing a vCenter server to an entirely new SSO domain. In vSphere 6.7, this is a new capability. In 6.7 GA, we came out with the capability that supports External Platform Service Controllers, or the PSC. In 6.7 Update 1, we enabled that for both embedded PSCs and external PSCs. One thing to note, we also want to make sure a prerequisite, we're taking a full backup, a file-based backup for the VCSA prior to beginning. So let's imagine we have one SSO domain with two vCenter servers. We'll call this VC1, and we have our second one here, and VC2. And of course these two are replicating, and they're both in the same SSO domain. Okay, and we'll call this domain domain 1. Okay. And now let's imagine we have a third vCenter server, possibly in its own SSO domain. And we'll call this one vCenter 3. Within its own SSO domain. And this could be domain 2. All right, now imagine we're a merger or an acquisition. We have one company or another company, or even within your own environment, you have two SSO domains and you want to merge a vCenter server from one SSO domain into the other. And that's what repointing is, right? So what we're going to use is a tool called CMSSO-UTIL. And we're familiar with that probably with using our repointing to different sites for our PSCs and past versions of vSphere. We have added a new function with that, and that is Domain Repoint. Okay, so what that Domain Repoint does is we're able to take this vCenter 3 and point it into Domain 1 and abandon the domain that it was in. Now, you're probably thinking when we do that, we have some conflicts to worry about. We have domain 2 that may have roles and tags and privileges that don't match domain 1. So what do we do with that? Well, when we're running our CMSSO-UTIL domain repoint, we have an option for PreCheck. We set that PreCheck flag. And what that does is it reads the information from the Platform Services Controller and pulls out all the conflicts. What we're reading is the authorization and tag data, so that's tags, roles, tag categories, and privileges. And to be able to give you a chance to resolve those, what we do is we pipe out 4 different JSON files, right? So we have 4 JSON files that are created, and those files are all underscore tags, all underscore tag categories. We have all privileges. Spelled that a little there. And all roles. So when we run the PreCheck command and we get these JSON files, now we have the option to read through those JSON files and resolve the conflicts that may be there. And we have a choice on how to resolve those conflicts. Actually, 3 choices. We have copy, merge, and skip. Now we can set copy, merge, and skip for each of the JSON files and the conflicts. We can set that at a global level to skip or copy or merge all of the changes or all of the conflicts, or we can individually set them choosing to copy or skip an individual setting or a tag or a role. Now, something to consider is when we're running this CMSSO-UTIL domain repoint and we do not do the PreCheck, what we're doing is we're forcing a copy. So we don't get a choice to resolve those conflicts. We're just left with copying all of that data from domain 2 into domain 1. And what that does for us is if there is a conflict or an extra role or an extra tag that has a similar name, we're going to append -- copy to that role or that tag so it's easily identifiable on the other side. This concludes our video for repointing a vCenter server to a new SSO domain. If you'd like to learn more, please check us out at vspherecentral.vmware.com or our blogs at blogs.vmware.com/vSphere. Thank you for watching.